All right, you've got the home inspection report. Now what? You've got this thing that looks like this long report, it's 50, 60 pages long. You're like, oh my gosh, this house is awful. Look how thick this inspection report is. That's not necessarily true. Hi, I'm Preston Salen with Home Inspection Carolina. We perform home inspections, termite, radon, sewer scope, and commercial inspections in North and South Carolina. Uh, this video is about, how to handle the home inspection report and how to make sense of it. I watched a video, actually did a review on a video yesterday. The guy was the Honest Carpenter. He has, pretty good following. It's when I type in home inspection in YouTube, it's the number one video that comes up. So he's talking about the home inspection report, and I agree with probably about 92% of what he said. I had issue with a couple of things. And one thing that he said that I agree with, but there's a reason there it's like that, is that basically the home inspector just has all the things that are wrong, right? There's no prioritization of that. And there's a reason for that. And the reason being because what might be the first priority to me if I have a small child, that handrail, the loose spindle, might be my first priority, and even more so than the furnace that's out of commission. But if I'm a handyman, I can easily fix that. The furnace is going to be my first priority. And, if I wrote that on the report and then those people had small children and they fail, you go to court and like, well, you didn't even say this was the top priority, so everybody's priorities are different. So you've got to sort through all the items and divide them out. And I call it divide them like your laundry, right? You do your laundry, you got three baskets. You got your darks, your whites, and your colors. And depending on what the how you the way you wash them is different because of that. All right, so I would make three baskets for the home inspection items, and the worst one would be must-haves. Your foundation, bad foundation, roof shot, need a new furnace. Something that is a big deal and in need of immediate repair, or a big time safety issue would be in that basket. My middle basket would be something more like, just kind of medium. These would be like to haves. Loose ceiling fan. Um, I don't know, maybe just something. You know, a door sticks, but it's not a structural issue. That sort of thing. Got a creak in the floor, but it's not structural. We'd like to fix it, but it's not going to affect us moving in this house and living there right away. And then like to haves. Those are more like your cosmetic issues, peeling paint, um, loose shutter, something like that. Definitely, if you had to get in a negotiation and ask for some things and give up on some other things, you would do the like to haves first, then the be nice to haves, but you really want to hold tight to the must haves. Unless you're in an extreme seller's market like we were in 2 years ago, um, hopefully won't see that anytime soon again because there was so much demand, supply and demand as in economics, that sellers are like, yeah, that's great. You found all that stuff, but I'm not fixing anything because I got 15 more offers right behind yours. But it's not like that right now. It's more of a buyer's market. So, the houses on the market a little bit longer. They're much more willing to repair things. You certainly can ask for it all. This is something you want a discussion you want to have with your real estate agent. But if you get into a situation where you got to negotiate, you want to go with that must-have basket. Again, mold. You got an active roof leak. Roof needs to be replaced. Furnace is shot. You're getting carbon monoxide. Cracked heat exchanger or something like that. Yeah, that's something that yeah, we need that fixed before we move in. That's going to affect us moving into it. And I would say the medium items or the medium basket would be not something that would keep us from moving in and staying here. Something I would like to get fixed. I don't have to get fixed right away, but definitely want to get fixed. And then like to have, or be nice to have rather, would be more cosmetic issues. Some peeling paint, just smaller things, but handyman type stuff. All houses have a list. If you were going to make a honeydew list of stuff to do around the house, these would be things that would be on them that aren't some sort of major thing. So that's my advice. And then put them into those categories. So when you get the inspection report and realize the must-haves, every house is different, but you're usually not going to have too many in that basket. I mean, on a given house, usually one or two. Now, I mean, you could have, you know, a house that needs a lot. I'm not, don't go back and say, he said there's only two. In my experience, average, you only have 1 to 5 in that basket, usually on an average house. You're going to have the bulk of it's probably going to be the middle and like to have. So even though the report is 60 pages long, there's only 3 items that are must haves. Also, remember that the inspection report, at least in North Carolina and South Carolina, it has pictures. There's verbiage that we have to put in there in a font that you can read, and I mean, it has to be a bigger font, or a font that I can read, which I'm getting ready to turn 57. So that makes the report a little bit longer, and then you have to have a summary, and then over time, everybody with the summary wants the pictures again, so the pictures are in there twice. So this unfortunately, a lot of people use the summary as a repair request. Don't do that. Read through it because there's things that are in the full report that aren't in the summary. Um, the summary is a quick thing, but when you make your repair request and do these baskets like I'm talking about, read the full report and then fill out your repair request. With your realtor, hopefully. I hope that's been helpful, but don't be intimidated by the home inspection report. It's not as scary as it looks. I think we've got a couple of blogs about this on our website, a blog, homeinspectioncarolina.com. So click on, I think there'll be a link down here, and like or subscribe if you got value out of this. Hope you did, whatever the kids do. And thank you for watching.